radio, Jesus!
You mind where you're going? You're not in France now, you know.
It's been working for years, the epoxy thing. Forget it.
Listen, thanks and all for insisting that you drive me into the date with Sadie and all, but I could have driven myself, you know.
You drive? You're joking. It'd be like letting Michael Jackson babysit the kids.
Are you sure you're going the right way?
How dare you? Is this all the thanks I get for putting myself out for you, huh? You ungrateful bastard. I could be at home watching Babe cast instead of chauffeuring you around, Mr. Potato Head.
Well, I told you I'd get a cab.
So you'd prefer to be dead, would you, huh?
Huh?
Jesus. Listen to this, pal.
We could do with a few more fares like that horse, I swear.
Willie Palmer was one of those taxi drivers you hate to get. He had a filthy car, a filthy mouth, and was a bit of a chancer when it came to the fares.
Here, hold on, I have to go. Have a fare, right?
Hello. We go to center, to the city center, yeah?
Town, is it? Town. I get to town, alright.
Willie sized them up as they loaded their own bags in.
There you go, there. Just chuck them in. I'll give you a hand now with the bags only. I've been sitting on my hole all day, you know. My back is at. You shouldn't have bringing them bikes now. There's no reason to bring them bikes. You know, that's €10 each. I have to charge it. Have to, you know. By the way, I have to charge you double today, yeah? Weekends and all that. Yeah, sorry, you know.
It was like taking candy from a baby.
Or the piss out of homeless people. It's great crack.
Right.
Excuse me, sir. The Fitzlanger Hotel?
Fitzlanger Hotel?
Yeah.
At this time, there'll be people and all over there, you know. Traffic and road works and everything. I could take you the long way. Do you want to go the long way?
Yeah, okay.
Okay, we'll go the long way, so we'll go the long way. No worries.
And off he drove out of the city and beyond. Willie regaled his hapless passengers with the usual bad jokes and made-up Irish history, including the top 5 taxi driver classics.
Available on Celtic Note Records. At 5.
If Bertie wants to go for a secret pint on a Saturday night, he calls me.
At 4.
Colin Farrell? Sure, he was me brother-in-law's best man.
At 3.
I was in Braveheart myself. Your man Gibson's awful small.
At 2.
So I says to Sinead O'Connor, you know what'd really get them annoyed? If you became a priest.
And at number 1.
Shabana was sitting where you are, only last week.
You bastards. So come here. Were the couple not getting suspicious at this stage, though?
Well, they didn't seem to be, and even when they were up the mountains, miles from civilization, they never complained. In fact, they were admiring the scenery.
Excuse me. We stop here for a photograph, please.
Photograph? Yeah. See that there? That's a perversion of transit, right? That immediately is €20, okay? And if you take a piss, it's an extra 15, okay?
Alright.
Nothing I can do.
Wait a second, I've got it. Ha! For once I'm ahead of you! Ha! Sorry to ruin your little story now, but the couple in the back are special branch cops, undercover to nail rogue taxi drivers, huh?
Oh, Jesus, you're after ruining it for all the people tuning in at home.
In your face, Holmes! Ha ha!
No, fair play to you, Rodg. You'd have a right to be celebrating
Thank
if you
you.
weren't so shagging wrong.
What?
Just as the taxi pulled over, Willie received a 8-inch tent skewer through the back of his seat.
Jesus! What the hell is going on? Golly, I don't blame them for being pissed off at the overcharging, but there's no call for murder.
One thing you were correct on was the couple were looking for rogue taxi drivers. They would hang around the airports of the world, and when a driver took them off the beaten track, they would fulfill their bloodlust for random murders.
So they were serial killers?
Indeed. And these taxi drivers were the ultimate victims. And when the deed was done, they simply got on their bikes and blended in as another pair of foreign tourists, leaving nothing for the cops to go on.
Right, that's fascinating and all, but you have me an hour late, and you did it for spite, didn't you? You just don't want me dating Sadie. You can't stand the fact that I might be happier than you.
Well, if I'm so feckin' horrible, then how come that Sadie up ahead, huh? Got you here on your poxy date.
Yeah, well, right, you can just pull up here and let me out. What are you doing? What are you doing? You slow down! Podge, will you slow down, you hit her? Jesus Christ, you just hit her! Sadie! Sadie, are you alright?
That reminds me, I must get these brakes fixed. Mind you, if the brakes are shot, I wonder if everything else is alright. Must try reverse.
What are you doing? Oh, Jesus, look out, Sadie!
No, reverse seems fine, actually. Let's try first again.
Huh?
That's good. Hey, she got the radio working again. Thank you, Sadie.
I'll call you tomorrow, Sadie.
Willie Nelson, huh?
Jesus, she's going to go mad.
Here my two charming Hollywood girls.
I explained myself very clearly to you. I said nothing about nothing at any time. At any time in the conversation did I say anything about nothing. I said nothing about nothing, and that's the end of it. I don't want to hear another thing. And not
Shut
only
up.
that, another thing, right? What's that button for? Ah! Oh! Ah! Oh! God almighty! Are you serious?
Oh, come on.
Jesus.
Will you shut your hairy hole for 1 minute? Will you?
Oh, you know what? It's amazing what's going on in the world, I tell you.
What are you doing, wasting your time on those rags?
Rags! Rags, are they? Well, how else would I know about J-Lo's addiction to jelly babies, or that Ray Darcy is gay, Burns' love child?
It's a load of shite. Everything in print is a lie.
Huh? I hardly think that they'd say that Graham Norton is an annoying bollocksy arsehole without hard evidence. Now do you?
Rodg. Never believe what you read. Take, for instance, the story of Jack Goff. He was hot out of journalism school, a straight-A student with a bright future.
Bit like myself.
Yeah. So it was no surprise that he got a job with the Morning Glory, the hottest tabloid in Europe.
Oh, they give away great CDs at the weekend. The top 20 love songs that you never wanted to hear again.
Why do you keep giving me such shitty stories?
Come in, Jack. I'll tell you why.
Anyway, Jack was very ambitious, and he was feeling a bit undervalued working on lame human interest pieces. He had his eye set on bigger, more meaty stories. The kind of stuff that Herb Ever had made his name from.
Oh, I've heard of him.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, whilst Herb was working on the latest serial killer case,
You're getting the cat with two heads. Now get out, we're busy.
what he really needed was an exclusive. On his way back from yet another Neighbour from Hell piece, he was handed a flyer on the main street.
Flyers, I hate them bastards. Who the hell are they to suggest that I need intense liposuction, or a free J-pod for that matter, that I'll never ever win? God, they're worse than beggars, I tell you.
Right. Good man. Like the rest of us, Jack was about to bin the flyer, but before he did, he noticed something written on the back. It was a name. Dawn Keyballs. The name meant nothing to Jack, so he binned it. Back at the office, there was a commotion and people gathered around Herb's desk. The Red Devil serial killer had just struck again, killing his 6th victim.
but it was the victim's name that raised the hairs on the back of Jack's neck.
Don Keebles or something?
Don Keebles.
Huh? Exactly. Jack's inquisitive mind went into overdrive. Why was he handed a flyer with the victim's name on it? He decided to keep it to himself and investigate further.
The other reporter fella won't be too happy about that.
You're right, but Jack knew if he could break this story, he would become top dog. He retraced his steps that evening and tracked down the girl that was giving out the flyers. Unfortunately, she didn't have a clue what he was talking about. When he arrived home, there was a note stuck on his front door. Another name.
Oh.
He scrambled through his phone book and found the number of the marked man. The number rang out. Perhaps if he was quick enough, Jack might be able to save the victim, or even better, catch the killer in the act.
Yeah.
When he got to the address, the police were already at the scene.
Uh-huh.
But once again, Jack decided to keep his sources to himself and pretended that he was just passing. That night, he hardly slept.
Had he a dose of the night horns, had he?
Shut up, you stain on Satan's underpants.
Bah.
As he was shaving in the morning, he noticed a name appear in the mirror.
Jesus.
He scrambled through the phone book once more, and incredibly, the victim answered the phone.
Hello, Kira. Kira Slaney.
Jack's heart raced as he made it toward the victim's home. Hero reporter foils Red Devil's latest attack. He had begun writing the text in his head. He burst through the front door and saw the victim sitting alive and well on a kitchen chair.
Huh?
This was it. He had beaten the Red Devil to it.
Jesus. Not a chance with the Red Devil, though.
You're right. As a knife appeared from nowhere and sliced the poor unfortunate from gusset to gillet, whilst Jack looked on, frozen in horror. The killer tossed the knife to Jack, and in a second, the Red Devil was gone. And Jack was caught red-handed.
Touché!
Herb Eaver couldn't help but smile as he wrote up the story. All the evidence pointed to the young reporter, and Jack was locked up for good. Herb made the front pages around the world with his claim that Jack had become a serial killer to create his own headlines.
Yeah, but he wasn't the Red Devil. Well, what if the real killer strikes again? Your man Herb would look like an awful idiot.
No, not if Herb himself was the Red Devil.
Oh, holy shit on a stick.
Yep. He had come up with the very plan that he had accused young Jack of. He knew the public thrived on gory crime, so he committed his own murders and reported on them first-hand, so to speak. And maybe in a few years' time he might invent another serial killer to grab the headlines.
Jesus, do you know what that reminds me of? That's just like the time that Billy Muff told the revenue that he only had 4 cows when he had 5 all along. Just like that story.
So my tale's just like that, is it?
Just like it,
Yeah.
Oh,
Grand.
oh, would
Yeah,
you
good
look
man.
at that? Would you look at that? A whole load of refugees were planning on smuggling themselves into the country inside Jordan's breasts. I never.
Right, great.
Huh?
Thank you for that.
Oh, a man in Switzerland has managed to turn himself inside out.
Has he now? Well,
Yeah.
that's great.
See, I'd
Thank
never
you.
know
Let's
that.
stop
I'd never
wasting
know if
my
I didn't
ear
read
space.
Minge is the new bush.
Right, that's
apparently.
it. That's it. We're putting a fire on, burning all those magazines.
Good photo here, though.
Huh? What? Oh, hello.
Hey, Podge, look!
What?
Now they'll put me in the magazines, huh?
Jesus!
Go on, have a go.
Ah! Get away!
Come on.
Which?
Come on. Just think.
Don't even think.
Come on.
Two fellas.
Come on.
Shite! Oh, God damn it. Oh. Come here. How much do you get for a human kidney these days, huh?
What? Jesus, you can't be selling your feckin' kidneys to be settling your gambling debts, you know.
I wasn't thinking of my kidneys, pal.
Wait a minute. Don't be looking at me. I'm cleaned out. Have you forgotten the Randy Biscuit in the 215 at Doncaster last year, huh? Or Widow's Muff in the Grand National 92, the left one, huh?
Oh, you sure you don't have another kidney tucked away somewhere else, have you?
No!
I know, you're right, Rodg. Gambling's a mug's game.
Yep. I'm going to stick to the lottery.
Oh, the lottery, is it, huh?
Yeah.
Ah, sure, that's not gambling
No,
at all.
it's
Not
grand,
at all.
it's
You feckin' illegitimate arse legend. Listen to this. Things were hunky-dory down in Fu King Computers. There was great camaraderie amongst the staff and a super social scene. They go for lunch on a Wednesday, drinks on a Thursday.
Dogging on a Friday?
Shut it, doughboy. Friday was Lottery Syndicate Day. A whole bunch of them would club their money together and buy a gansy load of numbers. And each weekend they'd all cross their fingers in the hope that their numbers would come up.
Right, whose turn is it? Adam, you give it up.
One particular week it was Dick Fitzwell's turn to buy the tickets. So they handed him over €100 and went their separate ways. When Dick arrived into the office on Monday, the atmosphere was electric.
Oh?
As his pals danced around the office, Dick's face sank.
Huh? Oh, shite. He hadn't played the numbers, had he?
He was about to tell them that he had never played the numbers. You see, when it was his turn to buy the tickets, instead of going to the newsagent, he'd spend the money. Weekends away, clubbing, trips abroad, you name it, he squandered it. Sure, what were the chances of the numbers ever coming up?
Oh, God. Come here, did he ever go to Amsterdam and purchase a 3-hour session with Lena, the lactating Lithuanian, who'd put you in a nappy and sing you Eastern European lullabies whilst you suckled away?
Jesus. Anyway, the syndicate believing that they were 5.6 million the richer, were getting together for celebratory drinks in the pub at lunchtime.
What in shag's the fella going to do, though?
Well, he had two choices. Do a runner or come clean and face the consequences.
Run!
It's called doing the right thing, Rodg.
Oh,
Nothing you'd know about.
No. I shat in your flask.
I know.
Huh?
I switched the flasks.
Jesus. I thought that Bovril tasted a bit shitey.
I didn't play the numbers. I've never played the numbers. Hold on a minute. Is this the truth? Are you for real? Is this the truth? Is this the truth?
The feckin' Aegis. Look, we're telling the truth, got him. 6 broken ribs, a fractured pelvis, and a ruptured bollocks.
Things were never the same again in Fu King Computers. The syndicate folded and everyone was depressed and angry. Dick handed in his notice. His friends wouldn't talk to him and he even sold his home. There was nothing left to do but leave town. But not before dropping in an envelope with €5,028 for his workmates. The exact amount he had squandered from the syndicate. It was the least he could do.
Jesus, if only he'd bought that ticket, huh?
Well, At least he'd done the right thing. Dick thought to himself as he played the black on the high-stakes table in Monte Carlo.
He what?
Dick hadn't been pocketing the money at all. He concocted the story, took a beating, left town with everyone glad to see the back of him, then cashed in the lottery ticket, all for himself. It was the right thing to do.
Oh, the shrewd-doer. What a scam. Yeah. So anyway, Podge, what do you owe the bookies, huh?
An arm and a leg.
Yeah. How much?
An arm and a leg.
Huh? Well, you can feck off. I need them.
Not when I can get 400 quid for them on the body parts black market.
Not the fee!
Nurse, we got a bleeder here. Oh, yeah. Don't walk away from me. I'm not finished with you yet.
Leave my legs alone, you fecker. I need them for sitting down. Nobody's supposed to believe that's a load of me hole. That never happened. Come on. And he was approached by that man with cloven hooves. He said he was going to sell his soul to the... Come. Get a load of rubbish. Come here. Do you know the way they say that you can sell your soul to Satan? Well, has anyone actually ever done that, or is it just one of them things that are completely made up? Like your feckin' stories.
No! Oh, like all of my tales, it's fact.
Right.
Many people have sold their souls to the Dark Lord in exchange to further their careers, for instance.
Come on.
Oh, just think about it for a moment, Rog. I mean, how else could Daniel O'Donnell be that popular? Brian McFadden, #1 in the charts. Come on! Prime time Saturday night. That'll cost you your soul, Mr. Tuberty. Thank you very much.
You know, now that you say it, it all makes sense.
Yeah, but the price can be a little too costly, my bollock-headed little friend. I'm sure you're familiar with one Buster Sherry.
Oh, yeah, the comedian fella. Oh, oh, flatulence. Oh, not me, father.
Yeah.
Whatever happened to him? God, he was very funny, I tell you.
Oh, was he now? Was he really?
Huh?
There's this banana walks into a bar and says to the barman, could you save a seat up in the corner for us, because there's a bunch of us coming in later on.
When Buster started out, he was quite frankly shite. His gags were lame and his personality stank.
Wagga wagga.
He hadn't a thing going for him. So he was quite surprised to find a business card in his dressing room after a particularly abysmal performance. It simply read, "Do you want to be the funniest man in the world? I can help. Call 086 666 666.
Jesus. The phone number of the beast.
Indeed. But Buster was a driven man. He wanted halls filled with laughter at his jokes, punters adoring him, his own TV show. He wanted it all and didn't give two hoots what it would cost.
His S-O-L-E. Soul.
Yeah.
Anyway, here's one. What's red and invisible? No tomatoes.
The next performance after striking a deal with the devil was phenomenal. He cracked the same crappy jokes, but this time to huge applause.
Could you save those seats in the corner because there's a bunch of us coming in?
People just couldn't get enough of him. The big offers came in and Buster began to ride on the crest of his comedy wave. First, Telly Bingo. Then, The Late Late Show.
A bit like Ed Byrne, except funny.
Yeah. But then Buster started to notice that people were just laughing at him for no reason at all.
Potty chicken and a crisp, please.
Jesus.
How you doing? Table for two, please.
Table for two. Oh, you're a gas ticket, Mr. Jerry.
Some hemorrhoid cream, please.
Hemorrhoid cream? Did you hear that, everybody?
Jesus, all right. That would quickly start getting on your tits, no doubt.
Oh, it did. Buster was starting to find it impossible to escape from the laughter. Even in his own bedroom.
So what did he do?
What could he do? He'd sold his soul to feckin' Satan. He tried ringing the number again to get out of the dastardly deal, but it was disconnected. He bought earplugs, but he could still hear the cackling and the whoops all around him. He couldn't sleep. He couldn't eat. It was driving him mad.
So what happened to the poor fella?
Well, with all the stress, he had a massive heart attack. It took 5 hours for someone to call an ambulance due to the hysterics. And the surgeons could have saved him, but they were so busy laughing that they forgot what they were doing. And even in death, the poor Buster couldn't escape the laughter.
Oh, God. Oh, well, that settled it then. I won't sell me soul, so.
Right. Just out of interest, Rodg, if you had sold your soul, what were you planning on getting in exchange for it?
Oh, well, I fancied a weekend in Bundoran.
Right. And you'd sell your soul for that?
Well, yeah, but it'd probably be like a long weekend or something, you know, and probably one when Joe Dolan is playing.
Oh, well then, that'd be worth it, so.
I thought of someone else. You know your man, Adam Clayton's, from the U2s. Sure, that lanky prick is useless.
Well spotted, Rodg. He's definitely sold his soul.
What about Enya?
Do you know what? No.
Huh?
I just think we were unlucky with that one.
Oh, right. Yeah. Michael Flatley?
Absolutely.
Oh. Louis Walsh. Louis Walsh.
No,
Huh?
Rodg, no.
What?
No. That's who you sell your soul to.
Good. Right. I'll remember that, so.
Keep that one you said.
Yeah. Cause it got shocking cold in here all of a sudden.
Leave me now.
Yeah. Few jokes for you now, ladies. One, two. Hello. Podge. The microphone doesn't seem to be working. I can't tell me jokes.
Hold on a second now. Oh, now that's funny.
I was wondering,
Were you?
could I get me pocket money early this week?
If you waste your money on one more of those poxy ringtones.
But everyone loves the loopy frog. Ring ding 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 ding. Ring ding ding ding.
Shut up! If I hear that one more time, I will not be held responsible for my actions.
But it's the only enjoyment I get of a week.
Oh, sure, whoever rings you.
The guards. Probation officer.
Yeah, exactly.
Gay lad from Navan.
Huh?
Oh, he dialed me once by accident.
I suppose you're right. It's important to treat yourself once in a while.
Oh, so you'll give me the money, huh?
Not a chance in hell.
Bah.
You got to learn to be careful with what you spend your money on, as Pat McCann discovered to his cost.
Enlighten me, Manhattan McGansey.
Pat had been saving up for a weekend of pampering. He'd already spent a fortune on a new haircut, clothes, and a couple of other bits and bobs. As he was on his way home, he was spotted by a bunch of his drinking pals. He really didn't want to have to deal with his rowdy friends. He just wanted a quiet day to himself. But try telling that to his already half-cut mates.
The lads, huh? The lads!
What would you know? You haven't had a friend in your entire life.
What about Davy?
Oh, Davy, Jesus. He was a snail. He wasn't even a pet, let alone a friend.
Yeah, well, you could tell him things and he wouldn't judge you.
Oh, my God, shut up, will you? A sad, sad excuse for a life. Anyway, Pat was dead points, whether he wanted them or not. He knew the kind of fellas that his mates were, and it was only a matter of time before they'd be going through his shopping and taking the piss out of him. And since he had bought himself some special things, just for him, he decided he'd have to take some action.
He hadn't bought himself some Joe Malone lavender and mint balm, had he?
He sneaked away for a moment and stashed his bags behind the cistern in the men's room. He'd come back and pick them up before he left. As the hours rolled on, the lads were getting rowdier, and despite many attempts to leave, they just weren't letting Pat go. Then the alarm bells rang.
Time, ladies and gentlemen, please.
No, it was too early for that. Pat asked the bartender what was going on. It's a bomb scare. Everyone was ushered out onto the street.
Oh, Jesus.
As the SWAT team entered the pub, everyone looked on. Yeah. Pat's heart sank as they headed for the men's room. His bags were in there. Soon the television crews had arrived and the crowd had doubled. A bomb disposal man came out and told everyone
false alarm.
Someone had reported what they thought was a suspect package. A vibrating bag had been shoved behind the cistern.
What do you mean, vibrating?
The officer reached into the bag and pulled out the anal capacitator, the backdoor boyfriend. He pressed the on button and it vibrated madly. Pat slinked into the background and was about to disappear when the officer pulled out a credit card slip and asked,
Does anyone know Mr. Pat McCann?
All eyes turned on poor Pat,
I knew it.
who was mortified beyond belief. Jesus. All he wanted was a quiet day to himself.
Feckin' gobsheen. Sure, everyone knows you never leave the batteries in the anal capacitator. They have a random throb function that's liable to go off at any feckin' time.
Right.
Allegedly.
Too much information. Thank you very much.
So, about getting a new ringtone for me phone. Is there any chance you could sub me some money? I only need 5 yo-yos. What the... Huh?
Now you won't need 5 yo-yos, you feckless gimp!
Podge, that wasn't my phone.
Huh?
I put that tone on yours as a present. See the funny
Put your hand on the table.
No, not the hand. No, I'm not putting my hand on the table. No.
One yo-yo. 2 yo-yos. 3 yo-yos. 4 yo-yos.
Oh, not the thumb.
Not the thumb, huh?
Not the thumb.
5 yo-yos.
Bollocks.
Oh, my bollocks. Am I? 6 yo-yos.
right.
Where were you?
At Mass.
I could have sworn you said you were at Mass.
I was.
Huh? Why, after 65 years of devout atheism, would you, of all people, suddenly end up in church?
'Cause it's the only place in town where you can ogle ladies' arses without getting a smack across the jowls. And I made €19 from the collection plate.
Thank be Jesus. I thought for a moment you'd found religion. But you'd want to be careful.
Huh?
Oh, yeah, the church are pretty shrewd when it comes to knowing what's going on.
Oh.
Father Roger Rightly was a man of the cloth, nigh on 10 years. He was well respected in the parish and a moral guardian for many a lost soul.
Oh.
Late one evening, Father Roger was surprised by an impromptu visit from Bishop Pullet.
Oh, was he any relation to Dick Pullet from the Pullet Inn?
I don't know, and quite frankly, I don't care. And if you interrupt me one more time, I'll bite your other ear off.
Huh?
Listen to this, Vincent Van Gimp, and you might learn something for once.
Bah!
Father Roger welcomed the bishop in, and they both sat down by the fire to have a chat. The bishop told him how he had been given the job of checking up on priests, making sure that they were happy and not straying from the cloth.
None of them stray from the cloth, you know. Okay.
Jeez, is this going anywhere? And I have to go and drain me cyst.
As they were chatting, there was a tap on the door, and in walked a beautiful young foreign woman with a tray of tea and biscuits.
Marietta?
No, her name was Maria.
No, I was actually wondering about the biscuits. Mariettas are hobnobs. Now, priests always have the hobnobs. At least the ones I've stolen from do, anyway.
Yeah. Father Roger introduced his housekeeper to the bishop.
Bishop Pullet, this is my housekeeper, Maria, Bishop Pullet.
Very nice to meet you. Is there anything else I can get you?
No, thanks, that's fine.
Once Maria left, the bishop noticed a set of beautiful rosary beads.
These are lovely.
Yes, they were a
As
present
he
from a
admired them,
cardinal.
Father Roger explained that they were a present from a cardinal in Rome.
Ratzinger?
God bless you. The bishop spoke solemnly. These beads are indeed beautiful. But we mustn't be beguiled by beautiful things. The priest understood what the bishop was intimating and assured the bishop that there was nothing untoward between himself and the pretty housekeeper. The bishop apologised, but explained that it was only part of his job to check up on his flock.
Where does the sheep come into this?
At least attempt to keep up. A couple of days passed and Father Roger was off to do his weekly rosary, except he couldn't find his precious beads.
Uh-oh, the bishop. He was a klepto-clergy, huh?
Well, in fairness, that was the only explanation. He certainly was taken by the beads. But even Father Roger found it hard to believe that the bishop would stoop so low as to rob them. With the help of Maria, he searched the front room from top to bottom, but he was faced with the awful conclusion that the bishop himself had broken the third commandment, "Thou shalt not steal."
Jesus. So there's 3 of them now, then?
He decided to call the bishop and find out the truth. The bishop answered the phone.
Hello, Bishop Pullet. It's Father Rightly here. You didn't by any chance take my rosary beads by accident the other night, did you?
No, replied the bishop calmly.
Well, they've been missing since Monday.
But I can tell you where they are.
Oh.
They're under the duvet in your housekeeper's bed. Of course, she would have found them if she ever slept there.
Very good.
Father Roger had been well and truly caught by the Cossacks, and his secret illicit affair had been exposed by the oldest trick in the bishop's handbook.
Oh, you're very good. That was... Yeah. Oh, by the way, how much will I put you down for?
What are you talking about?
My confirmation money.
Confirmation? Jeez. How much are you down for so far?
About, €820.
You're joking.
No.
Really? God, do you know what? I suddenly feel overcome with a religious feeling myself, yeah.
See, the only thing now to consider, Podge, is first confession.
Oh. Do you have to do that before you can do the others?
Oh, God, yeah.
Well, forget it, sure. It would take the best part of 4 years to confess a quarter of the evil that I've done.
True enough, you're right bastard altogether.
I was and I am. Hey, come here. What's your confirmation name? Anyway?
Osama.
Oh, Rodg, Spartacus, Osama, leprosy. Very nice.
I like that, yeah. Come here, if you were making your confirmation yourself now, what name would you be picking at all?
Oh, the notorious Podge.
Oh, jeez, very good. Was he a saint now?
Oh, he was a saint, yeah, in south central Bethlehem, yeah.
Aye.
He looked after all the hoes.
Oh, very good.
Oh, yeah.
Podge, have you seen me rosary beads at all? I left them on the kitchen chair there.
Oh.
Love can feck you up, and love can feck you down, and love can... Oh, lovely, lovely, lovely. How are we doing over here? Oh, God! Lovely! Cooking's great, isn't it, huh? The art of the gods.
Yeah, right, fecules. What is this pox on me plate, anyway?
Let's have a look. Kangaroo stew to you, Mr. Magoo.
Death at the zoo again, yeah?
Yeah, tragedy, really. Now, let me see what we got there.
What's this yellowy sauce?
Oh, you know, they said they'd never seen an infected abscess so large on a marsupial so small before. Never mind.
Right. What's for the main course, and what did it die of?
Oh, prairie dog dumplings in a Sudan red sauce. They, dug into the wolf enclosure.
Right, forget it. Forget it! Anyway, cooking's a risky business. Listen to this, George Foreskin, and you might learn something.
Blah.
Tammy Paxman and her daughter had always lived in the city. But when her husband did a runner, she wanted to make a fresh start. The suburbs beckoned. Green grass, friendly neighbours, and home bacon. Trouble is, Tammy was the worst cook in the world. But when her daughter arrived in with a request for all parents to bake something for the school's cake sale, she was determined to impress.
Okay. I'll get through this.
Do you know something? Aren't woks great altogether, huh?
What?
No, wok.
What?
Wok.
What?
Wok.
Oh, wok. Anyway, poor Tammy slaved in the kitchen all night, trying to bake an impressive jam sponge supreme. At 4 a.m, she was about to throw the towel in when something fell out of her handbag.
Oh, was it a rampant rabbit? Bzzz.
No.
Huh?
It was a box of tampons.
Oh, are the builders in, huh?
Jesus, if you're going to make a smart comment, at least get it right.
Was she in her togs?
All right, look, can I
huh?
stop you right there, pal? Can I, please?
Huh?
You're not even close to getting those right, you feckin' idiot. And no, it wasn't her time of the month.
What? Time of what?
Haven't a clue, have you? Oh. But she was at the end of her tether.
Good one. Are you at the end of your tether, love, huh?
Jesus. Anyway, she began to stuff the tampons into the soggy cake, and lo and behold, it worked.
But She could hardly sell that now, could she?
Yeah, but she wasn't going to. She iced the cake up and it looked amazing. She would put it on display at the school with a sold sticker on it, Yeah, she'd be in with her peers and no one would be any the wiser to her secret ingredient.
Jammy Oliver, huh?
Anyway, it all went to plan. Tammy and her daughter sat by the cake and she was delighted with all the attention and compliments it got. But when she stepped out of the hall for a moment, she came back to find the cake was gone, with a €5 note left in its place.
Uh-oh.
Jane, where's my cake?
So what did she do?
What could she do? The cake was gone. The next evening, Tammy was delighted to be invited over to Mrs. Gormley's, the head of the bridge club, and the ultimate local socialite. The one you needed to get in with. This was exactly what Tammy had dreamed of.
Desperate housewives, huh?
Yeah,
You know that,
good man. Yeah, no, I get it, yeah. It was a great evening. Lots of her neighbours swapping telephone numbers. It was all going so well.
Until
the cake came out.
Oh, shite.
Yeah. There were oohs and ahs from all the ladies present, except Tammy, who wanted the ground to swallow her up. But just before Tammy was about to fess up, Mrs. Gormley proudly announced that the cake was one she had baked earlier.
The lion cow, huh?
Yep, but Tammy was hardly going to challenge her. In fact, a smile crossed Tammy's face. She could picture herself as the new president of the bridge club.
Very good. This is very good.
Dare I ask, John and Jeannie Wankin, what's for dessert?
Prune custard.
I didn't ask what was in your trousers. I asked what was for dessert.
Very good. And chocolate-covered plums.
Well, if you don't wipe your arse, that's what you get.
Right, are you not going to eat that or what?
How can I put this delicately? I'd rather lick a beggar's anus than eat this shite.
So you haven't quite made up your mind yet, is what you're saying. Look,
I'd rather scoop me own poo out of me bumhole and eat it than eat this shite. This is more like it, Rodg. A good old roast.
Ooh.
Almost forgot stuffing.
Jesus, I don't feckin' believe it. Honest to God, what do they want this weather, huh? I don't know. I just don't know.
Here she is.
It was a whole waste of time.
Was it now?
Half a Toblerone, and I didn't even get a feckin' reach around.
Oh, you're such a romantic, aren't you?
I know. Do you know what? Maybe I'll try speed dating next. What do you think?
When they smell the whiff of desperation off you, the only speeding will be how quick they can get away from you. Bah. Anyway, you should throw in the towel at this ladies' man malarkey. Huh? It'll inevitably result in tragedy.
Here we go.
Rod Footlong was a player. Or so he thought. He had a good job, bachelor pad, drinking buddies galore, and the women came and went as he pleased. The perfect he-man, all testosterone and bravado.
Sounds familiar, huh? Over here, if you don't mind. Form a queue, ladies.
Yeah, right.
Huh?
Anyway, like all young fellas, he couldn't resist a challenge. And when he received an email invite to participate in a brand new quiz show, Truth or Lie, he could hardly resist especially with a 10 grand prize.
And now, there's got to be a catch.
I know, all he had to do was turn up to the filming location and give it a lash. He arrived outside a studio and was greeted by a lovely young lady who introduced herself as the floor manager.
You got here okay?
I did, yeah, I did.
Sounds like Rod could manage some time on the floor with her, huh?
Well, it certainly crossed his mind, that's for sure. She showed him his dressing room and offered him a cup of tea. As he sipped on the tea, she began to explain the rules of the game show. But as she did, Rod began to feel drowsy.
She'd slipped him a Mickey.
Next thing Rod knew, he woke to the sound of applause. He struggled to focus under the bright lights, and when he tried to move, he found himself strapped into a chair.
Jesus, the length winning streak will go to get contestants.
Suddenly, an announcement boomed over the PA system.
Ladies, please welcome your host, Miss Mona Locke.
No, never heard of her.
No, but Rod had. She was an ex-girlfriend of his, one he had treated particularly badly.
Oh, pumped her then dumped her, huh?
Indeed. Mona explained that Rod was rigged to a lie detector. The show was no longer called Truth or Lie.
Tonight's show is in fact called Truth or Die.
It was a fake relationship quiz show devised by a group of mistreated girlfriends hell-bent on revenge.
Jesus. Hell hath no fury like a lover scorned.
Yes, thank you, Shitspeare. Rod attempted to plead with Mona, but she ignored him and began the questioning.
Round 1. First love. Is it true that you shagged Anita Leigh before our first date?
No, of course not.
2,000 votes shot through his system.
Jesus.
More questions answered by lies, followed by more shocks. The second agent was so used to twisting the truth that he had forgotten how to be honest.
Jesus, huh?
Round 2. While we were dating.
Well, was there no sports category? He'd probably do better on the sports.
More lies, more shocks. He had been an absolute shit. But it was the third round that the toughest question was asked.
Did you ever love me?
He dug deep into his soul and tried to remember some of the good times he had had with Mona, or was it Jane, or Fiona, or that other girl with the black hair.
No, I've only ever loved myself.
So they set him free, right? I mean, lesson learned, bingo bango, huh?
No, they
Fair
fried him to a cinder and feasted on his charred remains.
Jesus, what?
No, actually, I just made that bit up.
Oh.
But they did kill him.
What?
Oh, yeah. They had always intended on killing him.
Oh.
They just wanted to watch him squirm first and finally admit what a shit he was. And beware, Rodg, these mistreated exes are still out there on a revenge feud quest for men scum. Don't forget to tune in next week. It could be you.
Jesus. Right, so that's it. I've decided I'm finished with the women.
Back to livestock, so, Rodg, huh?
Yeah, when you think about it, there's nothing better than shagging a cow now, is there? They've lovely eyes. A go anywhere tongue.
Oh, Jesus.
Any number of nipples to play with.
Oh.
A Lopez proportioned rump. And you can eat them afterwards.
You're a regular Casanova, huh?
Let's just say, Podge, I like my meat on the bone.
Oh, Jesus.
Daisy, I only wanted to talk. Oh, shite.
Jesus.
Oh, Jesus. Have you seen this, huh?
Yes, I can see it.
Have you seen this? These lads, right, they nail their Mickeys to phone boxes, rollerboard into cars, and brand their arse cheeks, huh?
Is this the den? It's changed over the years.
No. The jackasses.
Huh?
Do you know, I'd like to do that. I could be the wild man of Ballydung, huh?
Oh, wild man, is it? The wild feckin' man, huh? There's only one wild man that I have any respect for.
Not Derek Mooney.
No, his name was Adam. And this is his story.
Oh, shite.
Professor Manville was the world's leading anthropologist.
Oh, Jesus, that reminds me. You must give me his number. I'm having terrible problems with my septic bunions. Look,
Anyway, he had spent his entire life and his old money inheritance on the study of the history of mankind.
Oh.
In fact, he was the fellow who made his name after discovering the bog man of Brown Hollow.
Oh, that's right. Didn't he have the brain the size of a pea and a langer the length of a hurley, huh?
Yeah. Anyway, the professor was just about to make the greatest discovery of his career.
How they get the figs into fig rolls.
Right, okay. Are you going for the record? Is that what this is about, huh?
Huh?
Of interrupting me?
No.
Okay, well, one more like that, and that's all it'll take.
Right, okay. Don't say any more.
The professor's loyal assistant, Penny, informed him of an exciting discovery.
Professor!
Penny? A feral man found in the Andes.
I don't believe it.
And they flew out immediately to see their remarkable find. There in front of the professor was a human being untouched by civilization. It was like looking into the eyes of a caveman. He called him Adam.
And they lived happily ever after, right?
Don't think for a moment I'm letting that one go.
Shite.
Back home, the press were all over the discovery. Adam was the oldest feral man ever discovered. It was believed he had lived in the wild for at least 20 years. It was big news all over the world. The professor and Penny worked tirelessly studying the primitive man.
Really is quite extraordinary behaviour.
Penny often warned her boss that he needed to take a break, but the professor was too engrossed in his work to worry about such mundane things as his health.
Nonsense. I'll be fine, thank you.
Your health is your wealth.
And that, sir, is another. As the months passed, Adam was beginning to trust his captors and began to respond to their tests in a remarkable way. His learning curve was quite amazing. He was like an empty vessel, ready to be filled with wondrous information.
Let's hope that's all the professor was planning to fill him with. I did it again, didn't I?
Uh-huh. A trust was beginning to be established between Adam and the professor. And when he called the professor Father, for the first time, it brought a tear to the old man's eyes. He couldn't help but look upon this primal human being as the son he never had. And then disaster struck.
The cheeky girls attempted yet another comeback. We are the cheeky girls, we are the cheeky
No! The professor fell ill. He had indeed pushed himself too hard. The late nights working and the erratic meal times had caught up on him. And pneumonia at his age can be fatal.
I'm dying. We all know that. I'm so proud of you, Adam. Both of you. You've changed my life. And my plans. For years I've been avoiding those money grabbers. I planned to donate all my money to research. But now, You're the only family I've ever had. It's all yours, Adam. My purest Adam.
A tear rolled down the professor's face as he passed silently away. Adam too cried, but his were tears of joy.
Well, maybe being a wild fella and all, he just didn't understand what had happened, huh?
Oh, Adam understood perfectly and embraced Penny passionately.
She liked a bit of rough, did she, huh?
That's the whole point, Rodg. He wasn't a bit of rough at all.
What? No,
he was Penny's actor boyfriend.
Jesus.
And they had both plotted the elaborate scam to get the money off the old geezer. She had put her life into the academy and was damned if she wasn't going to get some of his deathbed money.
Oh, the scheming cow, huh? So, did they shag like dirty monkeys over at the professor's still warm corpse, huh?
No.
Right.
So, by my calculations that were included, despite due warning, you interrupted me no less than 8 times.
It wasn't 8 times, huh? You see, viewers are always saying to me, though, that I do be having them in stitches with me little interjections and all.
They do they?
Yeah. Otherwise, it would just be you and your stupid-ass stories with no crack whatsoever. That's what they'd be saying.
Right. Now I have you in stitches, huh? Now that's funny. Oh, look what's on. It's your favourite show, Rodg. Yeah. You know the way I never let you watch it? Huh? Will I let you watch it tonight? Oh dear, I forgot your eyes are stitched shut. What's that? I can't understand a word. Oh, your mouth's stitched shut, is it? Well, that's a shame. Yeah, if you don't shut up, I'll have to stitch your hole as well. Straight ahead.
This isn't the bathroom!
The bathroom? I thought you said lion's cage.
It's not a hunch, you bastards. It's just the way me coat's hanging. Yeah. Oh, Jesus, they're coming. Shite hawks. Oh, Jesus. Do you know, I wish I was famous. Life would be so much easier, do you know that?
Were the kids spitting at you again?
Yeah, and people would show me the respect I deserve.
Did the girl guides tie you to a lamppost and steal your trousers again?
Yeah, and I'm sick of it. If I was famous, everyone would adore me. They'd tip their hats to me, and the women would throw themselves at me, so they would.
Instead of throwing excrement at you.
Exactly.
Well, fame, huh? It can be indeed a vibrant mistress, but sometimes it can be a dirty hoe.
Jesus, you're a poet, Podge. A second poet.
Thank you. Take, for instance, Jerry Ryan, right? Sure, he has it all. A swanky car, 2 houses,
5 chins.
He's Ireland's undisputed talk radio king. But if you think celebrities have it easy, they don't.
Huh?
One day, Jerry had just finished up a particularly good radio show.
Oh, it was bound to be about arseectomies or giant groinal swellings. You know the way he does.
Yeah, I get it, yeah. Anyway, Jerry often went for a beverage to wind down at his favourite haunt, the gay bar. One of the top watering holes in Dublin.
Yeah, where all the Dublin ponces live. There.
The barman got Jerry his usual and he began to relax. That particular evening, Jerry noticed a young man in a suit staring at him. He knew what was coming.
Oh, he shot him dead.
No.
Aww.
The young man nervously approached Jerry.
How's it going, Jerry?
Autograph, is it?
Yeah,
That'd be great, the fella said nervously, and introduced himself as Jack. Jerry signed a napkin and handed it to him. But Jack wasn't
thanks,
about to
Jerry.
move.
Is there something else I can do for you?
Look, Jerry, I was wondering, could you do me a favour? I've got a big business deal coming through. And, you know, I've got a couple of clients coming over. And it would just be really, really impressive. You know, if you could, like, come over and pretend to be my mate.
Not a bad idea, I suppose.
That's what Jerry thought. A young man using his initiative. You've got to admire that. As time passed, Jerry was under pressure to leave. Unfortunately, the young man's clients were yet to appear. Jerry apologised, but he was going to have to go. Then, the tears came.
If this doesn't work out, Jerry, I don't know what I'm going to do.
Jerry looked at the poor soul. He was touched by the emotional outpouring. This guy, this salt-of-the-earth type fella, was just trying to get on, doing whatever it takes. Jerry wasn't about to abandon this fellow human being in his time of need. No, sir. Jerry don't do that.
God bless Jerry Ryan and his big fat head.
I'll tell you what. Put one swampy fanny on that table, and I'll do it for you.
Jack was
Thank you so
delighted.
much, Jerry.
He wiped the tears away and thanked Jerry from the bottom of his heart. He would never forget Jerry and his kindness. Jerry had a warm feeling rushing through him.
A swampy fanny will do that for you, though, all right.
Yeah. Just then, a couple of serious suited types appeared. Jerry watched on as Jack greeted them. Jerry let them settle and waited for that moment. That moment when one of the suits did a double take in his direction. That's right, pal. It's G. Ryan. He got up and made his way over to the group.
Jack, how are you? Great to see you. How's that business of yours going?
Jerry, can't you see him in a meeting? Now, fuck off.
What? He said what?
Jerry couldn't believe what he had just heard. He went bright red and backed out of the room, utterly humiliated. The two businessmen were now even more impressed with Jack. This kid's got not only contacts, but balls of steel.
Oh, Jesus. After that, I don't know if I want to be famous anymore.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
Hey, just out of
Very
interest,
good.
how are you planning on becoming famous?
Oh, I was going to streak on RTE. I'd be famous for bearing me bits on national television.
No. That wouldn't make you famous.
Oi.
Sure, the Irish public are well used to seeing pricks on RTE on a weekly basis.
I see what you did there. Very good. And no names mentioned.
Oh, no, Jesus, no.
It's very tactful of you there not to actually mention Ed Byrne's name at all.
Shite. Good man, thanks for that.
How big is Ed Byrne?
Quite tall. You'd have to grab him by the hair, it's the only way.
I thought if I bite him in the bollocks, will you sit in his face?
That could work.
Oh, God, Jerry Ryan, huh? Hey, fuck off, Jerry Ryan. Right, that's me now. I've been looking forward to going away this weekend for ages. I hope you'll be all right on your own and all.
Like you care.
Right so. All I've left to do is leave a note out for the milkman.
You will not, you will feckin' not.
What? So you've changed your mind, have you? You're going to walk to the front door and take the milk in yourself?
With my swollen ankles, I don't think so.
Bah! Well then, I'll leave a note for him so.
leaving notes for the whole world to know our business. Are you mad?
Jesus, what are you scuttering on about now?
He called himself the Shadow Man.
Jesus, look, I really haven't got time for this. The train is leaving in about
He had
20
concocted
minutes.
what I would consider to be the ultimate 21st century crime. And this is how it worked. When someone's taken a holiday from work, they set up what's called an out-of-office reply on their email. The problem is, people aren't as security conscious as they should be, and they often leave just a little bit too much information. Hi, Tom here, I'm off to Honolulu for 3 weeks. I'll be back on the 10th with a brand new tan.
And a venereal disease, huh?
Yeah. These are the kind of messages that the Shadow Man fed off. He'd do a bit of hacking and garner a bunch of email addresses from companies that fit his favourite profile. Usually big corporations that employ a large amount of young professionals. He'd send out fake mail shots, and if anyone was away, he'd receive back their out-of-office reply, which gave him his target. A little more investigating into the company files, and he would soon have a home address.
What's he up to?
Oh, it was pretty simple, Rodg. He was moving in.
Moving in?
A quick lockpick, and he had the free run of someone's pad for as long as they were away. And if anyone ever challenged him, he would simply say he was house-sitting for his friend. He knew all about them, after all.
The cute whore, huh?
He was never wanting of a place to stay, running up someone else's account without a care in the world. And the poor idiots only found out a month after they came back, when the astronomical bills arrived.
So, this fella was living it up at other people's expense? Woo, that's some scam, huh?
Yep, indeed. His latest target was one Eric Shun. His out-of-office reply read thus: As you may or may not be aware, I'm moving on to pastures greener. I will be starting work for Her Behind Investment Brokers on the 1st of September, after a month hiking in Peru. My new company apartment is the Dogs. I promise a party when I get back. Eric. It was a sweet deal for the Shadow Man. New apartment and at least 3 weeks free room and board. Just as he was settling down to a night in front of someone else's TV, he heard a low moan.
Next door neighbours riding themselves raw. Paper-thin walls. You might as well be in there with them. Oh,
yeah. Upon further investigation, the Shadow Man discovered who must be Eric in a bad way on the bathroom floor.
Uh-oh.
Eric was in such pain he didn't care who his rescuer was. He had been stuck there for 4 days after slipping and cracking his back while stepping out of the shower. No one had called around as everyone assumed he was on holidays, and he was yet to meet any of his new neighbours.
So the shadow fella called the ambulance, pretended he was a concerned neighbour, blah, 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 blah.
No. He took a towel off the rail and finished Eric off.
Jesus, what in the name of Daisy Duke's cut-offs is going on?
You see, the Shadow Man was tiring of his transient life. What he saw in front of him sprawled in agony on that bathroom floor was an opportunity to move in, not just into his apartment, but Eric's life.
How is he going to do that?
Once he had disposed of the body, he contacted all Eric's friends and family with a fake email from the Peruvian embassy, informing them of Eric's tragic hiking accident and how wolves had eaten his remains before the rescue teams found him.
Jesus, Peruvian wolves, huh?
Yeah. Then on the 1st of September, the Shadow Man finally stepped out of the shadows and literally into Eric's shoes. He strolled into Her Behind Investment Brokers and introduced himself as Eric Shun, the new boy. With Eric's CV, his clothes, and even his hair products. No one batted an eyelid.
So glad to meet you. Welcome aboard.
Thanks. Great to be with Her Behind.
I tell you what, that's some scam. Oh, Jesus, look, I've really got to be on my way, sure. The train will be leaving in about 20 minutes.
Oh, I forgot to say shit, Jesus. What? No, I'm a terrible man. Terrible man.
What?
The clock stopped a couple of hours ago.
Would you go on out? Sure, that clock has never stopped.
Funny enough, it does when you take the battery out.
Oh. Right.
So I take it you'll be stopping here for the weekend, so?
Yeah, suppose I will.
Right, well, I'm off to bed. Oh, will you do me a favour on your way up? I left a note out for the milkman. Will you take it in? Good man. Good man.
But you said the note, too much information.
Marshmallows in me hot chocolate, thanking you.
Oh, shite. Where are the marshmallows, eh?
Up me hole.
Oh, you bastard, I frickin' bad. Jesus.
Where are you?
Outscoring crank.
Did you get me, Becky?
No. Well, you see, Dolores was on the till, and you know the way I get around her and all. I get a bit...
Yeah, back up a second. Huh? Did you get me, Becky?
Jesus, I'm trying to explain to you, right?
All right, hand, please, thank you.
Huh? No, not the hand.
Hand! You like that? One more.
Huh? You bastard. Look, I couldn't get the Becky. You know I get all hot and sweaty and nervous around her.
Shyness, is that what it is, huh? Let me tell you where shyness will get you.
Huh? Great, but can I click me fingers back into their sockets first?
Back at the turn of the century, Bridget Flier came to work on her uncle's farm. She was crippled with shyness and liked to keep to herself. Every morning she'd walk along a river path from her uncle's cottage to the creamery. One morning she passed a handsome young man carrying a basket of fruit on his shoulder. Something stirred within her.
Swampy gusset time.
You can keep it for yourself.
His voice was soft and quiet, and little Bridget Flier was falling in love.
Jeez, will you come on and get to the dying part, will you?
Relax your cockles, Ernie Wise. As the weeks went by, the two quietly greeted each other every morning, and he often handed her an apple and one of those big smiles. His name was Bob, and with each day that passed, Bridget was falling more in love with her apple carrier.
Is this going anywhere, Barbara Cartland, as I've got to wax me sack?
One morning, Bridget plucked up the courage and asked Bob if they could meet after work. She was taken aback when he insisted on only meeting in the morning.
Oh, he's either married, a werewolf, or a gaylord.
It seemed like a strange rule, and Bridget was determined to find out why Bob had made it. The next day, instead of going to work in the creamery, Bridget followed her basket man. He entered a house on the outskirts of town and didn't leave until dusk, when he walked the path home.
Hello.
Hello. Do I know you?
How could he blank her like that? She wept all night long, and the next morning, to her astonishment, Bob acted as if nothing had happened. But she was going to set him straight.
I don't understand. Yesterday, it was like I was a stranger. Why?
I'm sorry I can't meet you again. Goodbye.
Oh, what a pity. You see, that's why dogging is the modern alternative to dating. No strings attached. But maybe a couple of leads, huh?
Yeah, you done, are you? Good. Shut your hairy hole.
Bah.
Bridget wasn't going to let true love run away that easily. She followed him to the mysterious cottage and this time sneaked a peek through the window. It was dark inside, but she could definitely hear two voices. Maybe there was another woman. She had to find out. It was a two-headed man. Bob was devastated that she had found out this way. He and his brother Bill had agreed that each head would have half a day each. Bob had the mornings whilst Bill hid under the hollowed-out fruit basket, so that they could have some semblance of a normal life in the outside world.
Ah, so that's why he didn't recognise her in the evening. It was your man Bill she met, and of course he'd never seen her before.
Exactly. But to Bob's horror, Bill had fallen for the woman on the path as well. As they fought over Bridget, she ran away. The shock, the emotions were all too much for her. The following morning, she came back to the cottage, but couldn't get an answer.
It's okay. I've been looking for a man just like you all my life. Hello?
Swinging from the rafters was Bill Bob, with 2 notes, but only 1 message.
Jesus, huh?
If I can't have her, neither can you. She fell to the floor weeping. Then a soft voice asked her what was wrong.
What?
She pulled the hair from the back of her head.
Where are the brothers you were telling me about? What's wrong? Why are you crying?
Said the face embedded in the back of her skull.
Jesus. So she was a freak as well.
Indeed. And she had at last found her perfect match.
A
bit too late.
Jesus, a woman with 2 heads, huh? That's 2 fucking opinions about everything.
Yeah, no, shut up. I haven't finished yet. I need a good
You could
finale.
say she didn't know if she was coming or going. Jesus, huh?
Rodg, what's the golden rule?
Yeah, look, I'm sorry about that. Never mind. Forget it.
No, it's never finish off one of my
your
tales.
Yeah. But you look, I got it. You look, it wasn't that funny at all. Now, was it coming or going? Sure, that was barely a giggle in it.
That's irrelevant now. A chain of events has begun. Now bend over.
No, I'm not bending over.
I said bend over.
Jesus.
Huh? How about another 2,000 volts up the hole?
No more! Bastard!
One for the road.
Can you...
And now for the grand finale, folks. Pull yourself together and clean up your mess. Oh, bollocks.
Do you know, the entertainment industry is leaving me cold as of late. I've been thinking of a change in career.
Oh, well, of course, being a bulbous-headed buffoon talking shite for 10 minutes on the telly is hardly a career.
Yeah, well, you try telling that to Dara O'Brien.
Oh, do you think I haven't tried?
But seriously, maybe I'll do a business course or something.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, you burst me stitches. And pray tell, what business exactly did you have in mind?
I don't know. I haven't chosen my particular career path.
Yeah, well, don't be so sure you have a choice, Dick Branson. Sometimes a career chooses you.
Huh?
Chris P. Bacon was a busy, stressed-out executive type, with little time for anything but his work. He knew that his young son was feeling neglected, and he had been trying his best to make it up to him. He woke up at 6:30 to another working day. He was shaving when he noticed that his nose was red.
Touch of the gout.
He scrubbed at it, and it eventually washed away. But now he was running late. He got the feeling people were looking at him as he ran for the bus. Then he caught a glimpse of himself in a window. His red nose had reappeared, now accompanied by white smiley face makeup.
What?
Someone was playing a practical joke on him. Maybe it was his son trying to get his attention. When he got to his office, he rushed to the bathroom and cleaned the makeup off.
Oh, was it the candid camera people playing a prank on him, huh?
Chris didn't even have time to dwell on the hows and whys. He was already 5 minutes late for his presentation. It was going well until he noticed that people were beginning to snigger. Maybe his fly was down, or spinach on his teeth. No, his red nose and face paint had reappeared, along with a curly comedy wig and a ridiculous outfit.
Say what?
And when his boss came in to join the meeting, Chris squirted him in the face with a plastic flower that appeared on his lapel.
Do you know what? Do you know what I think, Podge? I think he might be turning into a clown.
Oh, Jesus. Well, good man. Of course he's turned into a feckin' clown,
Right,
Watson.
Yeah.
He was sent home early to sort himself out, and the only good thing that happened to him on that day was his son's reaction. How cool! My dad's a clown. Chris took off all the clown garb and threw it out, and went to bed early. Maybe tomorrow this bad dream would be over. The next morning, Chris opened his sleepy eyes. What's that at the end of the bed? He looked under the sheets to see he now had a big pair of size 38 feet.
Ho ho! Well, you know what they say about the size of a man's feet? 38 feet, 38 meat.
Yeah. And when he stepped out of the bed, he was again clownified.
Jesus.
He called in sick to work. He wasn't going to risk a repeat performance of yesterday's debacle. He was determined to figure out why this was happening to him. The only connection Chris could come up with was his visit to the circus the previous week. He found out where the circus were playing and approached the ringmaster, who fainted on the spot.
What the hell is going on?
Another clown approached Chris and welcomed him with open arms, like a brother returning home. He began to explain how Chris had been touched by a clown.
Uh-oh, get ready for the court case.
He explained how he must have been the last person that Bingo Bango the clown had played a prank on before he died. Chris remembered receiving a pie to the face, and then the clown slipping over. Apparently, Bingo Bango had died at that very moment, and Chris was thus chosen as his replacement. For clowns never die.
They've always freaked me out, but now undead clowns. Jeez, I'm not going to sleep for a week. What did Chris do?
Well, he could have lost the head, tried to wipe the makeup off, but he knew he'd be fighting a losing battle. He realised that a life of pie throwing and slipping on banana skins was probably a bit more fun than mergers and acquisitions. And besides, he could at last bring a smile to his son's face. And what's more important than that, eh?
Jesus, huh? A happy ending on one of your tales. Are you sick or excited or what?
Oh, really? Yeah. Well, just because your man was happy doesn't mean there aren't thousands of clown-cursed individuals who are forever trapped in grease paint and baggy trousers.
Do you know, I'll never forget the time that Manson's Circus came to town. you remember I got invited up from the audience?
Oh, did you?
And I was nearly killed
by
the masked knife thrower. Sure, he had half me feckin' ear off. Tell you what, if I ever get my hands on him.
Oh, God, yeah, good, yeah. The man.
Right. I'm off.
Damn it! I was trained too well.
Hey, Jesus! Podge, did you see that? A knife came out of nowhere.
Good old days. Thank you. You ladies and gentlemen, was you missed. Stop 17. Don't move!
Huh?
Stop moving!
Oh, right, yeah. How am I looking? What do you think? Profile or me good side? What do you think?
Shut up! Yeah. Now, look. Suck it in a bit. Suck it in. Yeah, suck it in a bit more. Suck it in. Making no difference whatsoever.
Oh, God. Look, why don't we buy one of them new yokes? The digital cameras. Sure, they don't even need the films in them at all.
You don't even need the films. You're like a spoilt child, you know that. Anything new when you want it.
Indoor toilet would be nice.
What's wrong with great-grandfather's Needlemeyer 700 anyway, huh? Right. And besides, some of them modern cameras can be too damn good.
What are you scuttering on about? How can a camera be too damn good, huh?
You've never heard the story of Shay Cheese, Ireland's top newspaper snapper? Huh?
Shay Cheese, you say?
Yeah, shut up. Anyway, he was what you'd call in the business an ambulance chaser. He'd always be first on the scene of a tragic accident. House fires, drownings, train crashes, pile-ups, or murders.
Jesus. There must be nicer ways of making a living, huh?
Shay was just filling the public's insatiable appetite for macabre photographs. Although he had begun to tire of photographing other people's misfortunes. What he really dreamt of was that one shot that would make him his fortune so that he could retire.
Ryan Tuberty's ears getting caught in the spokes of his bike in a tragic cycling accident. Please.
Yeah. Anyway, Shay had finally decided it was time for a change. And maybe he'd have more luck as a celebrity photographer. There was more of a chance of fame and fortune from that area of the business.
Jade Goody's belly getting caught in her bicycle spokes, huh?
As he was putting his portfolio together, Shay started to notice something.
Ooh, how so, Fu Manchu?
It was only now, when he had all his photos laid out in front of him, that he saw a man, a peculiar-looking man who featured in every one of his snaps.
Jesus, that Derek Mooney gets everywhere.
A chill shot down Shay's spine. He jumped to a very scary conclusion.
What?
It was death.
What?
He had accidentally been photographing death himself as he hung around in the crowd at scenes of tragedy.
Jesus.
Unfortunately, he was a bit out of focus. If Shay could get a clearer shot of death, it would be the photographic sensation of the century. And make him wealthy beyond his wildest dreams.
So what did he do?
He went out and bought himself a state-of-the-art digital camera that could take the highest resolution picture possible and 200 pictures per second. He was not going to miss this opportunity. He sat in his car listening intently to the police scanner, keeping his ear open for a disaster.
Come on, Tuberty, come on.
Then the call came through. A car crash. Shay rushed to the scene.
It was perfect. The person in the car was about to die. But Shay's lens was elsewhere. He was scanning the onlookers for the man in black. Was that him? No. His heart was racing and his finger was getting itchy. This needed to be a clear, sharp shot. The final photo to be published of Shay's was of his own tragic death, which only made page 28, just below the ad for Harvey Normals. Poor Gub, Sheena. Very good, right enough, yeah.
Right, anyway, let's be having it.
Oh, right. Right.
Okay, all right, good man, yeah. Okay there, Rodg. Now, smile for 5 minutes, okay, good man?
Come here to me. Are you sure this is safe?
Oh, yeah, no worries.
Jesus! What happened? I'm melting here.
Wait a second. Sorry, my bad. I forgot to put the plate in. One more time.
No! Jesus, no!
All right. I can see your lips have melted together. Don't be such a baby. Chick, if you're going to insist on moving, I'm going to have to keep taking another one. Hold still there, will you? Jesus, stop being such a baby. All right, hold on. Here we go. One more. That's it. Yeah, good man. I know you're singeing. Now, pipe down. Oh, Jesus Christ, such a baby.
This one's for Reader's Husband's magazine.
In the bed, giving them head a pox on you and her, a pox on you and her.
Oh, this is BDR. Broadcasting on the emergency channels, 66.6 FM, www.bdr.org, and on satellite. Hello, Uganda! How are you? Can you see us? That was, of course, Mossy Nerney there, with the ever-so-infectious tune A Pox on You and Her, from his album The Bitch Left Me for a Woman. More music in a moment, but first over to Rodg in the newsroom for the national and international local news.
1, 2. Thank you, DJ Podge. Now, the headlines. Ballydong's bid to host the Olympics is no more. The Olympic Council unfortunately felt that Phelan's Field simply wouldn't do, despite Farmer Phelan's assurance that all the cattle would be slaughtered 2 weeks before the event. And they also said that Mrs. McGillicuddy's 4-bedroom extension onto the B&B simply wouldn't be enough. So, disappointment there, all round.
Olympic bastards.
On a more positive note, President McAleese will be in Ballydung next Monday for the official opening of the new German superstore, Fiddle, who promise even cheaper shite than the already cheap shite from other places.
That's some guarantee.
That's it.
Now, we're all well aware that not everybody is happy with the President's visit, particularly the local lads done good, Fester and Aylin, whose ditty you might remember from 2003.
Back in 1938, when Ireland was a fledgling state, our first president, Douglas Hyde, was a man who brought us pride. Now there's been 7 more in his place, each promoting the Irish race, but the last one's made me wary. Haven't we already had a Mary? So Ireland, get up off your holes and get ye down to the polls. I'm sick of a woman's touch. Are you ready to get bored? I want a man up the Oris, a fella in the park, a manly kind of president enough of your feminist arc, so give me a man up the Oris. Come boyos, hear me call. For a man up in my Oris, I want a president with some balls. There's a whole generation who've never had a fella in the Oris. Of course we've had many.
Indeed we have. We've put up with the two Marys, but deep down we always wanted someone more hairy when she was busy building bridges. Wouldn't she have been better off cleaning fridges, or washing dishes, hoovering floors, or making Martin a lovely plate of tea? What about President Christy Moore, President Joe Dolan, or Uachtaráin Larry Gogan? Come on!
I want a man up the Oris, a fella in the park, a manly kind of president. Enough of your feminist arc, so give me a man up the Oris. Come on boyos, hear me call. For a man up in my Oris, I want a president with some balls. Woo! A man up the Oris, a fella in the park, a manly kind of president. Enough of your feminist lark, it's time for the fella in the Uachtaráin, a buckle running shop. No more manana hair and a manan should be on top. Woo! No more manana hair and a manan should be on top.
Did you just say mananan? Shut up. Rhymes with mana. Manan. Oh, Jesus.
Ha-ha! Festering ale in there with the ever so controversial ditty, I want a man in the Oris. And let's be honest, who doesn't? Hear, hear. Now back to Rodg over in the weather room for the week ahead weather. Action.
Thank you there, DJ Podge. Over the last week we've seen some shocking weather altogether, but this week we can look forward to a pleasant change.
Ooh.
Here's the weather now for the week.
Great.
On Monday, mild. Tuesday, mild. Wednesday, mild. Thursday, mild. Friday, mild. Saturday, mild. And Sunday, wet.
Wet? Well, there you go now.
No, sorry. Mild.
Oh. Right. Thank you. Thank you, DJ Rodg. Now for the new one from Mickey Lover and the Man Connection. It's Dominic, my darling. Jesus.
What's the crack with that yoke?
The nuclear reactor's gone. Hold on. Got any plutonium, have we?
Oh God, I'll have to check in the shed. Man. If not, I'll have to get on to me fella over in Sellafield.
Festering Ailen's new album, Smell the Crack,
featuring the hits A Man Up the Oris, I Wanna Shave You Downstairs, and The Ballad of David Norris.
Available now on Gusset Records. I want a president with some balls.
Do you think we should get a computer?
You should learn to read first.
I was planning on doing more looking than reading. And besides, there's a new deal from Ballydung Broadband. 36 hours a day access for only $79.99 a month, huh?
No, never going to happen. And at your age, you should be happy with Monday Night Monopoly and your euthanasia classes.
Come on, why can't we sign up for the free 1 week trial? It's only $25.99.
Sign up, huh? Sign up. What have I told you about signing stuff before? Have you learned nothing, huh? Listen to this. Craven Moorhead was a rich man, but also tight-fisted. He had everything except a happy marriage. but his wife refused to give him a divorce because of a tight prenuptial agreement he made her sign. If they were divorced, she'd hardly get anything from his vast estates. His lawyer, Dan Glebitz, had often suggested that he simply pay her off and he'd be shot of her. But Craven was stubborn and didn't see why he should give her a penny. After all, it was his money.
Kill her.
Oh, don't think he hadn't considered it in his darkest moments. But there had to be another way. Dan called Craven to his office one evening. He had a solution.
It concerns a recent case where a husband hired a woman to impersonate his wife. He and this woman went down to the civic offices, where they filed for divorce. The first thing his real wife knew about it was when divorce papers, complete and legally binding, dropped through her letterbox.
But the real wife would surely just deny ever signing such a thing, eh?
Yes, but apparently it would be a very costly and tricky legal process to undertake. And it's her word against her husband's. And besides, the civic offices wouldn't be keen to admit they were at fault.
Do you think this will work?
I reckon. Plus, it's a little bit more humane than the alternative.
Craven was intrigued. Could they possibly get away with it? Dan thought they had a pretty good chance.
He could always poison her. Slowly.
No, you really need a lot of patience for poisoning someone correctly. So that there be no trace of your crime. With, say, a slow-acting poison that attacks the central nervous system over a series of months, delivered without suspicion into cups of tea every day. Right. With the eventual result, a complete shutdown of the body.
Oh. Huh? What? Oh, jeez. Oh. Did you ever black out like that?
No, no, I don't. Do you fancy a cup of tea? It's imperative that you have at least 3 a day.
Huh?
Maybe later. Craven waited nervously for his wife's doppelganger to appear at the civic offices. He had lifted his wife's passport for identification and prayed to God that the actress would look at least something like his missus. But he needn't have worried. She was a very good match.
Let's do this.
The whole thing went without a hitch. At last, Craven was going to be free. A few days later, the envelope arrived from Civic Hall. Craven was going to enjoy seeing the bitch squirm.
What a miserable old bastard, huh?
He opened the envelope in front of the now officially ex-Mrs. Moorhead and announced that their divorce had finally come through.
Pack your bags and get out. You're getting nothing. Nothing!
Well, you know, I'm delighted. Especially with that generous amendment you made to the prenup.
Yes, Craven, old man, much appreciated. I think we've left you enough to buy a new mattress. I'm afraid we may have broken the old one.
Dan had forged the new prenup, but Craven was hardly in a position to contest it.
Touché, amigo! And the poor feckin' Egypt couldn't do a thing about it.
Craven had well and truly been screwed by his wife, who in turn was well and truly screwing his lawyer.
Look, is there no way you'd reconsider getting a computer, huh? Apparently there's mad websites, like this famous one called KillYourBrotherSlowly.com, huh?
Really? I had no idea.
Hold on a second.
Oh, have you blacked out again? I'll get you a cup of tea to resuscitate you. That'd be best, wouldn't it? Huh?
What? Yeah. Right, yeah, thanks.
By the way, while I'm filling the kettle up, would you ever wave at the biscuit tin that I told you never to touch?
Huh?
Yeah, you know, good man.
How you doing there, biscuit tin? Yeah. Anyway, just to say you're doing a great job there, keeping the old the biscuits nice and fresh. Like the...
It's week 55. I'm upping the dosage to 5 milligrams. Now, feck it, 10. Stay online, viewers. It's about to get a whole lot more deadly.
I suppose, whilst I'm at it, I should apologise for the that fall that you had back in...
So who is this poor Egypt we're burying anyway? This'll be wasted on you. I get a fine price for this on eBay.